Well, this will be a little weird tonight because I've never casted by myself, but this is what's going to happen. So, could someone on OC say that they can hear me? Sorry, I forgot to put the address in OC. Anyone hear me? Yes? No? Maybe? Thank you, M. So, we are in Clan Wars. Week 1, Match 3, we have Bloodlust versus Conclave, and this could be a foreshadowing of a playoff match, so it will be very interesting. So for our first match, we have Rumpton against Arok, and it's about to start in 3 minutes. And obviously Arok was sent in because he has dropkick and he can meat shield the golem, so we'll see how well Rumpton can cast through it. In the future, if someone wants to cast with me, just let me know ahead of time and I will gladly have them on, as long as you're competent and don't say stupid things like eat cheese rice. We have 2 minutes. But yes, as Harry, if you want to cast with me next time, just let me know ahead of time, assuming you're not fighting, and I will gladly have you on. Well, I was gonna stay resting so I could wear and stuff, but you know, Kingdomers are trying to roleplay in my room, so I had to go to sleep. And we have 1 minute until the start. Oh, in case you guys didn't read news, Mario has been fixed, so he will be available for betting next week. Just not this week. Which is probably a good idea, because this week was really hard to bet on. We have 30 seconds until we start. I mean, if Orden wanted to be on, he could have been on, but I mean, I think he's trying to be super serious tonight. And we're off. Rumpton's non-detect, Arok earthquakes, and the chains have begun. And he's clearly AMS'd. Oh, I have that annoying thing where I can't see the damage color change. Oh, and there's the pixie blind. That is bad news. Though Rumpton is getting dropkicked a lot. And Arok does have him in a 1 exit room. So hopefully Arok has escapes. Oh, wait, never mind. Ignore that advice right there. A golem is made. But Pixie Blind, I believe, is only 2 to 3 ticks now, as opposed to 8 million. So yes, please ignore that potion of escape cures Pixie Blind advice. Orden told me to say that. Sorry. Arok is doing the right thing by hiding. Honestly, if I was Rumpton and I had mana to waste, which he probably does, I would just try chaining every room. Or if Conclave had the caller, they could just tell him what room he's in. Well, the good thing about the middle room is, one, there's a golem up, and two, is multiple exits. Though he's no longer. He did meet shield. And it looks like Arok's doing really well, as a pirate should against an Invoker. Because Arok is still in white, and the Rumpton's already in red. He just hasn't been able to get the chain thing going. And that, I believe, is a spell blind. So he can use escapes on that. And Rumpton's just going to buy time by making more golems, I think. See how many escapes this will take. Now he's just going to range him while he escapes, I'm guessing. And it's doing significant damage. If he gets low enough, Rumpton should go in and try to chain him while he's in escape lag. And he does land the Cure Blind. And Arok's and he's gonna rescue. Oh, and he gets blinded again. That is bad news, Bears. And now he's gonna free reign the chain because he can't meet shield. Curious how many escapes Arok brought in. I would guess at least 30 to 40. And he's just getting ranged. He's actually earthquaking now because Bloodlust is obviously telling him what room to go to, which is fine. And he goes back to escaping. If Arok gets the red, I would say Rumpton should go chain. And he's just ranging. He's probably at least halfway out of escapes by now. At least Arok is still in yellow. No, he just hit red. And he got the Cure Blind. And the dropkick begins. Another chain. Rumpton is in Wimpy. This is not good for Rumpton if he's Wimpy. And Rumpton is dead, and Arok takes it. And Bloodlust takes the first match. Well played by Arok. While I feel like there was a lot of fireballs going out, I feel like tossing in some chains would have been more damage productive. Especially when he was spam quaffing escapes. Because it's quite possible he was just spamming it in like on his keyboard, so he might not have been able to tilde out and stuff. And free chain damage is free chain damage. I don't know if Conclave had a caller, but if they didn't, they should have had one. So we'll see who we have for the 2v2. I don't even know who's on for Conclave and Bloodlust. I, well, I'm sure their teams are set by now, but if I was Conclave, I would send Tongpu and someone else. Probably Tongpu and Tyrinx. And they've sent, well, Boof is one of them apparently. I guess this is a throwaway because we have Boof and Garrett. Unless they were summoned somewhere else. Oh, what? Why is all of Bloodlust Fiends summoned? I don't understand. Maybe a different room in the arena. Yeah, that sort of confused me right there. What just happened? Of course, Oradan is also an option for 2v2. The problem is if you overload too much of their good players in 2v2, they don't have anyone left for ACFL, and that is definitely Conclave's weakest event. And we have Tongpu and Perrin versus Verzath and Pythias. This is very interesting. This is interesting because Verzath has the capability to disable Tongpu where he can't summon the Narth. Because if he just chokes him and just dirts him on ticks, he can't summon the Narth because you can't spit. But at the same time, I think Perrin and Verzath is a pretty even matchup too. And if Tongpu can set up the Narth against Pythias, that's trouble too. I mean, I know you guys read the forum post, but Tongpu went over how he fights against a Wildlife Singer, and no doubtedly Pythias read it, so we'll see. And everyone is different alignment in here, so when one person dies, they will definitely be protected wrong. Also, as always, feel free to message me on forums or anytime in game if you want to offer any way I can improve the cast or whatnot. I'm only casting to help you guys out, so. It'll be very curious who they send in first. That could determine the whole dynamic of who wins this. Tactics as well as strategy and skill matter equally in the tag team for sure. Another factor I would think is Perrin hasn't been playing recently, so he may be a little rusty. And I think he's more familiar with ACFL than like a 1v1 format. And as well, you guys know I run the Justice team, so any loss from Bloodlust or Conclave helps me, so I like watching this matchup. But as I said, this might be the matchup in finals or semifinals that they have right now, so they're sort of, it's week 1, so everyone's just trying to filter it out, see what works, see who's playing, things like that. The real serious teams don't happen until later. So. And we have 1 minute. 30 seconds. If as my guess, they would send Perrin in and Vazath first, but we'll see. It really could be anyone. Well, Pythias is in, but no one has left the Conclave prep room. And Perrin is late, and Pythias hits on him immediately. So Perrin was really late. I don't know what he was doing. And Perrin gets perforated. Perrin is not doing anything. You need to be a proactive skill user if you're playing an Armorsman, especially against a Singer. And he does do the choke thing. But he is perforated, and Pythias is light sleeper, so that really won't do anything. He just needs to stall. And, I mean, he has to do the dirt kick and trap tactic or just spam cross. He's in whips again. I don't know why he didn't dirt before Pythias. It's really bad when you're fighting hither and hither and you get dirted and you have to flee and the other person is not blind. Like, he got knitted on again. I don't understand why he didn't dirt again. Spectator summon. Pythias is ranging Perrin. There's the dirt, but he's being chained. And Perrin's already in red, and Pythias in white. Pythias is just killing the spectator. Spectator's dead. Another spectator. This is Perrin's. I mean, I understand the vamp tactic. But he still needs to unload damage on Pythias, who's still in white. And Baron get there immediately. That's why you cannot stay on that spectator when the tick hits. Now Perrin's just running around because he's blind. If I was Pythias, I would just stay in the middle and spam him, which is exactly what he does. And he gets a full knit because he was on the spectator. And Pythias will just acid boss Perrin down now. Now Tongpu, if he sets up properly, could beat both of them. The issue is setting it up. Perrin fails a choke. Pythias dirted him. He's just gonna acid him and chase him, and he'll die. Or that's what I would do anyways. So Pythias cancelled. I don't know why he made it. I think he canceled so he could reprotect for Tongpu because he knows Perrin's gonna die. And that was smart because Perrin was blind too. At least that's what I thought he did it for. Perrin's wimping. Arnsman versus Bladesinger, just a rough matchup. You basically have to play perfectly and hope the singer doesn't play optimally, which is never the case with Pythias. And Pythias is just unloading all his acid blasts to kill Perrin. If I was Perrin, I would just turn off Wimpy and do as much damage as possible to Pythias. If you don't have Wimpy off, and then Pythias unloads all the acid blast on you, he's basically giving you free damage and you don't deal any damage back in return. Perrin making the spectator for some vamp, I guess. But really, Pythias is still in white. And he still has the lack of damage output issue with him. Let's see if Perrin learns his lesson and flees before the tick. He does. He's in the shield. He's doing the same thing, more spectators. Honestly, if I was Bloodlust now, I would just go kill all the spectators. The spectator kick made him wimpy. Pythias is going to be up. Let's see if he knows. If I was Pythias, I would just spam Dirt Perrin on Wake Up. And that's exactly what he does when Perrin walks in. There's like no damage done to Pythias at this point. Like, vamping up and getting health back is fine, but you don't. It doesn't matter when you don't put any damage out on the other player. Perrin is dirted again, and Perrin is dead. And Tongpu will come in now. Tongpu's in. He's gonna go for the spit. Oh, smart. Undead Warrior is forcing Pythias onto him. So this is also the issue with Pythias. He has two double flag weapons, but Tongpu has the absorption aura, the thorn aura thing. So that unloads a ton of damage the more he gets hit. It basically counteracts the whole vamp. The tick went by. Tongpu gets dirted, so he can't spit, which is smart. Tongpu's just trying to do it as much damage while he's blind, I guess. Pythias' way to win this is he needs to keep Tongpu blind before he can spit. And Tongpu has a Vamp Ferrite weapon, or a Leech weapon. That's very interesting. You can see the absorption aura is slowly adding up on Pythias' damage. If I was Tongpu, I would just sit in the room and spam spit on Pith before he can dirt. And he does. Let's see if he gets the dirt back. Oh, it fails. That is bad times. He's going to summon. Or he's going to wait, I guess. Curious why he's waiting. Maybe he failed a few summons. Bloodlust. I think Bloodlust killed the antelope. Oh, and he kills the elk. Pythias is spit blind again. This is why you need good color, so when Tongbu does this, Bloodlust can tell Pythias where to call. Ooh. He's trying to bait him with the lightning ruler. Or I guess you could chain off it too. Pythias is in red. But Tongpu's also red. But Tongpu hasn't used, what's it called? I forgot what it's called off the top of my head. Ooh, Pythias feels another dirt. Like Tongpu regens, and then he also gets like half his HP back. Tongpu's main goal, I think, right now is just to kill Pythias. Ooh, he uses Scrolls of Heat and Fire. That's nice. It just adds damage on at this point. That was a lot of damage, actually. And he finally uses Econ. So if he can kill Pythias and like has fairly, I would say, yellow or above health, and he can set up on Vazath with a Narth, that might be trouble. I know Pythias probably didn't think about this, but you should never use double flag weapons on the Battle Mage. And Pythias bashes Tongpu. That's amusing. Another question that comes to concern is how much mana does Tongpu have left? He has to have a fair amount to deal with Vazath and the double blind, and he's probably just going to try to acid him down at this point. And if you had a damn calc going right now, and Tongpu's back in red, the Thorn Aura did a okay, I can't say that. The Thorn Aura did a lot of damage. Well, this is bad because Tongpu's in red now. I would say Pythias is in mid to low red. And Vazath doesn't have access to call lightning to kill the Mount 1 blind. And he's just making more chain posts now. And Pythias is in Wimpy. Tongpu is dirted. He should go to the same room as the Fire Ruler, yeah, and he does exactly that. But Pythias knows not what to do. Tongpu flees off the murder in it. More chains on Pythias. I don't know if that went through saves or not. And Tongpu kills the Fire Ruler. He's running out of rulers to summon. Perforate should be off soon. If I was Pythias, I would try to get another Perforate off before he dies, if he's going to die. Because it'll still work even if he's dead. So now we have a small waiting game going. They're just basically waiting for the... And Tongpu gets dirted. And he's probably just going to acid it down. Or he's just going to acid and flee once. Interesting. He's giving Pythias free rounds. Well, we're in oft. So unless Conclave pulls a miracle, I don't see him winning this. Oh, and Lash stun. Because Conclave's protected wrong for Vizath. And Lash is landing a lot. Yep, and that's it. Pythias just did too much damage to Tongpu. Which brings it back to Parents' Court. If he had done more damage to Pythias, Tongpu would have been more healthier to set up for Vizath. And Pythias basically played it perfectly against Tongpu, so. So Bloodlust takes the second match. And now next we have ACFL. And this is notoriously the bad event for Conclave, because they either have to play all mages, and once they run out of mana, they'll be in trouble. Or if they have to play some super voucher combination, then the mages can't heal them. And I'm guessing Zarius hit Perrin in the stands, and that's a big no-no, because that's instant dorkable. Also, apparently Bloodlust has 8 million overlords. I just noticed this. I'm pretty sure I know what sort of team Bloodlust will play, but it'll be interesting what Conclave plays. It's hard to say which bracket is the strongest for Bloodlust. They're strong in all of them. But Conclave's weak bracket is definitely ACFL. Unless they magically get all their super vouchers to show up. Yes, I'm spamming flags so I can see what teams there are going. Let me look at the schedule real quick. Clan Wars. So the next match is Shadow Nesty Shadow. And I will not be casting that, because I will be fighting on one of the teams, and that's all I'll tell you. So if someone else wants to cast, and I will not be casting Sunday because I'm playing, but I will cast the Monday Slayer Shallow match. Well, I could cast Shadow Nesty Shadow, just not the bracket I'll be entering. And there are no teams yet. And if Bloodlust takes this bracket, they will be tied for first after week 1 for now. We will see if Oridan will be using ACFL. He's basically a poor man's Bodrum, so we'll see if he's effective at all. And as always, I will post the YouTube link to this. on the forums, but I'll put it in a separate thread, not the one where Ermley posted in last time. We have Theseus as Harry, Merilith, and Sagash, and that's the team I expected they would use. All of them have mass ACFL experience. Well, Theseus' player does, obviously, as Harry was in finals this year. Merilith won the championship, and Sagash is on stars, so they all have their experience. So, Bloodlust has 3 hybrids. So that's a lot of healing. And of course they have Spirit of Protection. So. And we have Nevlis, Tyrings, Kimpaz, Oradan. Which, I mean, without supers, they can only play CSRs, so. So it's going to be on Theseus, at least at the beginning, to see how much he can disable certain mages. Tyrings, Kimpaz, and Oradan are all separate alignments, so they will, sorry for my language, they will do a shit ton of spell damage. So, we'll see if Sagash Spirit that protects early. And I believe Sagash and Merilith both have Holy Smite. And as Harry has Rake. Nevlis just needs to try to be useful. But it is ACFL, so you cannot make a Narth. So I'm not sure how useful he will be. The only thing I don't see going well for Bloodlust is they've never played that team together, so they don't have like the natural instincts and the dynamic going, but they're all good PKers, so they should be able to figure it out. If they can deal with all the Conclave spell damage, they'll be fine. But Tyrings, Kimpaz, and Oradan are all formidable players, especially in the arena, so we will see what happens. They can all heal each other. They just have to make sure they try to minimize how much they chain each other, because then they have to regroup. And if it was my guess, as Harry will early rake someone, so it'll be up again. But as to who he does it on, we will see. And never forget the pixie dust factor. It is crazy. And we have 4 minutes to go. Oh, yeah, I don't have my prompt on, but it is 1:30 p.m., so Oradan is nowhere near Shadow Form or Shroud. I'm not sure Shroud would be very useful against this team, per se, because they have Merilith and Sagash. There's nothing to cast! I'm waiting for the match to start, Grix! I say poor man's Bodrum because they're both necromancers. Exequies, go collect your logs. We have 2 minutes. Next week is actually very difficult to bet on as well. Because Shadow Justice, probably Justice will take. Slayer Shadow, it's hard to call because Slayers are full of hitters and Singers counter hitters. We have Conclave Knighthood. Like, Knighthood's team wasn't bad and they can heal pretty well. And Bloodlust Wargar, it's really a toss up because Wargar has a lot of big hitting people and we'll see. A lot of the teams are good this season. And we're almost at 1 minute. And we are at 1 minute. I have no idea how many people are watching this because I don't click on my stream to see how many people. Because then I have to mute it and then, yeah, all that stuff. And whoever just followed me a while ago, I thank you. We have 30 seconds. 14 watchers, that's pretty good. 15 seconds to go. I was actually surprised they didn't put Jasmine in there. Because I know he loves ACFL. And we're off. And zombie, egg golem, choking, or poisoning. Or then they're gearing the egg golem. And Bloodlust does not have flash or any AoE blind, so that's sort of interesting too. But Conclave uses a bunch of charmies. So we know Oridan's been at Volcano Island. And the Colossus. But he's horrible at making... Yeah, he's no real Bodrum. He can't make a Dracolich. And they're off going Quaffing Misties. And for the love of God, please finish casting your spells in prep room. You don't want to waste unnecessary commands inside the arena. Pixie Dust on his Harry, nothing lands. Spirit of Reds are going out. Theseus switches the whips. Looks like they're trying to focus Oridan. Nevelis makes Undead Warriors. Kimpaz is Holy Smited. And they are trying to focus at Oridan, or as Harry is at least. Oridan gets dispelled. Yo, get some saves, bro. And now they're I mean, they're targeting Nevelis a little bit, but he doesn't really do much, so... Nevelis needs to infuriate and tank more. Marilith picks up the flag immediately. Oridan's in red. Kimpaz is in yellow. Where was Tyrinx? Maybe I'm just blind this whole time. Theseus in the whips. Oridan's... Oh, and the zombie rescues. Theseus gets dispelled. And the damage that ended up. Kimpaz is still smited. There's an Infuriate. And Theseus is doing the right thing by keeping Tyrinx down. Using Piercing Winds. And Nevelis enhanced. No, that wasn't enhanced comm, I'm stupid. Kimpaz is in red. Conclave needs to focus more on one person. It's hard when Tyrinx is down, though. It's basically 4v3. Oridan's healing. Kimpaz. Tyrinx gets blinded. What is going on? Marilith OP. And this is why he's on my team. Kimpaz just goring as Harry. Ooh, the choke fails. And Bloodlust has already captured the flag. It's 1-0. Tyrinx just cancelled. And mana sinks. So Sagash is obviously saving Spirit of Protection. And I think he has Smite too. Oridan in red. Once he gets low enough, Theseus can just entwine him. Merilith gets DJ'd. Merilith gets E-drained. So this was a problem when we played with him during the season. He got E-drained a lot. Nevilus gets shield cleaved. There's just so much damage going on right now to Conclave. Kimpass gets this. What is going on with saves right now? Pixie Dust explosion on Theseus. Oh my, that's a lot of damage. That is a... Oh boy, the damage is piling on. And Merilith picks up the flag again. So Conclave can't let Merilith have so much free reign on the field. It doesn't matter how much damage you do if you don't stop the caps. And they have 2 people to rescue as well. 3 if you count Charmies from Sagash. A lot of people are in red right now. Sagash and S-Harry are not, but the rest are. Nevilus is dead. Or he should have been dead. Once again, Conclave's 4th player problem is very apparent because battle mages aren't that useful in the arena. Unless you have a hobgoblin for, spit or something. I think they fled to leave Nevilus incapacitated. I don't know if Orden canceled or got dispelled. No, he got dispelled. Did Conclave not bless? I don't understand. Orden's gonna get entwined. It's probably gonna be a 3-0 at this rate. Because they're already 1.5 caps behind. And Theseus back in the whips. Merilith actually does die, and he was the flag carrier. It looks like Conclave is all suiciding. Which might, if I was Bloodlust, I would just go cap right now, and that's what they're doing. At least they stopped the score by killing Merilith. Sagash takes the flag. So this is also the problem. The fact that they're so far behind, and when they try to catch up, Sagash will just SOP, and no damage will go out. The best Conclave can hope for is he SOPs when not all of them are in the room. Or rather, not all balls in the room, sorry. They're just ranging Theseus. A big problem this match was Tyrinx was disabled for a lot of this match. And he's a lot of spell damage. Orden's in withstand. Let's see if he dies from it. Doesn't look like he's going to. Oh, he choked him. That's interesting. Sagash is just carrying the cross. And it will be 2-0 soon. Orden's going to be up soon. See if Theseus rechokes him. Red 10. Red goal line. Orden's up. He's running around. Probably looking for Sagash. Theseus should just be guarding him. Orden goes to chain. I'm not sure I would have turned the left wimpy on. It's 2-0 now. Conclave should be in soon. At least some of them. Orden withstands again. Sagash takes the flag. Orden should flee out of this. He's gonna withstand again. Necros are really good in the arena, but Orden doesn't have the health and mana pool of Bowdrum, so he can't go by himself and go chain crazy and survive as well. So Orden's sort of stuck. Like if he tries to cap, he'll die, and if he can't really stop Sagash because he also has SOP available. Orden withstands again. He's dead. This should be over now. Unless Tyrings comes in and changes and kills them all. We're at the red 20. Red 10. Red flag. Oh, that's us Harry, never mind. I thought they were all grouped together. Well, there's still no Conclave out. Sagash is 4 rooms away. Nevelis is out trying to stall. He's not even... Yeah. We'll see if Conclave can make something up. Nope. And 3-0. Well, good job Bloodlust for 3-0 in Conclave. They are now tied for first place with Justice. Now, Conclave didn't do too poorly per se outside of ACFL, but they may have to go back to the drawing board if they have to face Bloodlust again in the playoffs. Thank you all for listening. I might show up next match, I might not, we'll see, but I will try to get as Harry on or someone else on so you don't have to listen to my monotone voice the whole time. Have a good night. See you later.